The night began with a silence that felt unnatural along the Russian border, a calm that carried the weight of something coming, something Russia had not anticipated and was not prepared to stop. It was the night Ukraine revealed just how far its drone intelligence had evolved, and how easily it could bypass the most fortified Russian defense grids that the Kremlin claimed were impenetrable. Hello everyone, welcome back to the Frontline Report channel. Please subscribe and like my videos. The atmosphere shifted the moment Ukrainian reconnaissance drones, modified with advanced AI-driven pathfinding systems, rose quietly from mobile launch units hidden under camouflage nets. Their exterior design had been transformed from the earlier versions: sleeker frames, reduced radar signature, heat dampening coatings, and dynamic wing adjustments that allowed them to fly lower than standard air defense radars. Operators monitored their screens with calm precision as the aircraft smoothly slipped into Russian airspace. Inside the Ukrainian command van, the interior setup was surprisingly compact and minimal, built for speed, mobility, and rapid redeployment. A small screen illuminated the face of each operator, displaying live telemetry and video feeds. Short commands passed between team members, each moving efficiently, demonstrating how Ukraine had turned improvised technology into a deadly, streamlined operating system. The interior was quiet except for the soft hum of processors and the occasional tap on a touchscreen as the drones relayed their exact position, Russian radar sweeps, heat signatures, and vulnerable blind spots. It looked nothing like a traditional military control center, yet it outperformed them all. Performance became evident the moment the drones executed their first evasive maneuvers. Russian S-400 and Pantsir batteries attempted multiple locks, but the drones behaved unpredictably, zigzagging, dipping, curving, and shifting altitude as if they were thinking independently. The AI produced new escape routes in milliseconds, rewriting their mission path while staying ahead of Russian interception algorithms. Ukrainian commanders watched icons of Russian missiles firing and missing, burning millions of rubles with every failed shot. The drones advanced deeper, passing through layers of defense Russia had spent years building, exposing how easily intelligence, not brute force, would define the new era of warfare. Safety features in these drones were unlike anything Russia expected. They were equipped with dual redundancy fail-safes, auto-return protocols, encrypted communication resistant to jamming, and emergency self-erase systems that prevented any capture of onboard data. Even when Russian forces managed to strike a few, the drones detonated micro-charges that wiped their chips clean before impact. The drones also had collision sensors that allowed them to fly through forests, narrow valley paths, and urban environments without crashing. The safety design wasn't just for protection, it ensured that no mission intelligence ever fell into enemy hands. What made this strike truly unique was the synergy of Ukraine's military strategy and the drone's unique selling points. Each drone wasn't simply a flying explosive or a reconnaissance tool, it was a mobile brain. The AI compared real-time battlefield conditions with stored map data, predicted Russian vehicle movements, studied patterns in radar sweeps, and adjusted its path to exploit weaknesses. This gave Ukraine a massive advantage. The drones didn't need constant operator control. They could advance deep into enemy territory, identify strategic targets, and coordinate with other drones like a digital swarm. The swarm shared data, marked vulnerable points in Russia's defenses, identified dark radar patches, and simultaneously executed attacks that overloaded Russia's air defense response time. This was not just technology, it was an entirely new warfare doctrine. The price of these drones compared to Russia's weapons exposed another painful reality for the Kremlin. A single Ukrainian drone cost roughly a few $1,000s to manufacture, built from locally produced parts and 3D printed components. In contrast, every Russian interceptor missile that attempted to shoot them down cost tens or even hundreds of thousands. Russia was bleeding money with every launch, while Ukraine was spending almost nothing in comparison, proving once again how asymmetric warfare tilts in favor of innovation. The economic imbalance made the Kremlin furious and desperate, unable to keep up with the rapidly expanding scale of Ukrainian operations. As the drones reached their designated targets, the map lit up with confirmed strikes. Russian ammo depots exploded like fireballs, communication centers fell silent, fuel dumps burned through the night, and air defense radars were obliterated before they could warn anyone. Ukrainian forces used the newly opened corridor to advance with mechanized units, striking fast and securing territory before Russia could send reinforcements. This moment became a turning point. Ukraine had used precision, intelligence, and strategic planning to defeat Russia's brute force doctrine, not by overwhelming numbers, but by overwhelming thinking. The aftermath was devastating for the Kremlin. Russian commanders sent urgent messages to Moscow, reporting massive system failures, drone infiltrations, and inability to recapture positions. Putin sat in his briefings in disbelief, watching footage of Ukrainian drones flying directly over Russian positions that were supposedly defended by the world's best air defense systems. He demanded explanations, but there were none, only excuses, technical failures, and desperate attempts to blame sabotage. Russian soldiers on the ground recorded videos showing drones circling overhead, mocking the defenses that once gave them confidence. Morale collapsed, panic spread, and retreat became inevitable. The conclusion is simple: the war has changed forever because technology has changed the balance of power. Ukraine proved that intelligence beats armor, precision beats numbers, and innovation beats outdated strategy. Russia relied on heavy fortifications, old doctrines, and costly missile systems, while Ukraine relied on brains, efficiency, and adaptability. The night Ukraine's drones penetrated Russian defenses became the moment the Kremlin realized it was fighting a war it could no longer control. Ukraine didn't just strike targets. It exposed the weakness of an entire military philosophy. The world saw the future of warfare that night, and it belonged to Ukraine.